Hey there, it's Joey Babineau here at the Powerhouse Affiliate Channel. And today I've got Jerry Moody MoneyStacks joining with me today. And today we're going to talk about how to crush it with lead gen. Let's get started. Ba-ding,
Man,
ba-ding, boom, boom.
bow, bow, bow.
Okay, welcome, Jerry. Thanks for joining us again on this channel. I'm super pumped. Let's get started on lead gen. Let's not waste people's time with a bunch of stuff that they don't care about. Let's learn how to make money with lead gen, in particular, home services. Tell us about yourself, please.
Well, Joey, I've known you for a long time. We've worked together in the space for over a decade now. I am the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer here at Astrafuse. We started this company at the beginning of this year. We're focused in the home services space. We do a lot of solar, a lot of roofing, a lot of windows, gutters, bath remodeling, even home security, water filtration, just a bunch of different things, man. And we
That,
own and operate all of those pages, provide everybody with unique URLs, man. It's a bright new world, man. It's a bright new world.
yeah, that sounds awesome, man, because as we know, a lot of people are making some really good money in the home services space. I just got back from New York not too long ago at the affiliate summit, saw a bunch of lead gen guys there talking about it as well. So that is great. And that means you can tell us more about your offers and how much we can expect as affiliates to make and what makes them unique.
I would say, right, it's a $20 billion industry here in the United States. So even if you only made what like a few percent of that, you're still making, millions. So there really is a huge opportunity to make money. I would say there are a lot of challenges with it. You really have to work with the right companies. You can't really deal with a lot of middlemen, and it's tough to go through networks. But if you know where the right channels are, you know how to drive traffic, and you have the right support, there really is an awful lot of money to be made.
So basically, your offers that you have are ones that you internally own. So it's kind of like going direct.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
expect better payouts than if you were to be brokering it through someone else.
Oh, absolutely, man. The CEO here, he built everything that we use. He's got a long history in the space. He's done pretty much everything under the sun regarding technology. Our funnels are streamlined. They're simple. They're to the point. We do all of our compliance internally. We work with all of our clients on the back end. We have about 50 different people, 50 different companies of all sizes, from national companies to smaller companies that buy our leads. So yeah, we do everything from the front to the end. The only thing we don't do, for sake of argument, is actually put the solar panels on people's houses. So,
Okay,
you know, you
that's
can't
good.
do it all, right? You got to segment the task out somewhere. We let those people do those things, and we let media buyers do what they do best, and that's buy media.
Yes, excellent. So for the record, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different people watching this video and this channel. There's everything from newbies to experts. Some newbies might not even know what we're talking about in lead gen, but that's, I guess, another story because really, lead gen, for the most part, is we as affiliates are sending traffic to your pages. You guys are collecting those leads and selling them. And in the end, the affiliate gets paid a commission. How can affiliates maximize their ROI with you guys? And what are you seeing from your side of things?
Well, I would say media buyers, they have to have a lot of trust in the people that they run traffic with. You have to trust that you're going to get paid. You have to trust that your accounts are going to be solid. You have to, trust that the offer is going to convert and you're not going to get shaved, right? So the first thing that affiliates can do to maximize their ROI is just find people who share data, find people who allow them to have all of the things that they need to be successful. And people with experience, if you're just talking to some random affiliate manager at some random network, they've never ran traffic. They've never, done anything in the space to really help you optimize. They probably are just going to tell you to run traffic and shut up, right? Just to, try to get you to spend that dollar. But yeah, the biggest thing with maximizing ROI is finding the right offers, right? Because there's a million different offers out there, but very few of them are actually worth spending money on.
Yeah, and what you said really about data is even more important nowadays when it comes to lead gen, especially through Facebook or Google Ads campaigns, Facebook in particular, where if you guys have the data that we need to upload to Facebook, or even at least give us some ideas on the audiences we need to target. It makes it a whole lot easier instead of having account managers say, "Hey man, this offer's crushing,
It
man.
slaps,
Like this is
bro.
the best one. You're gonna make some sick bank. Here it is, and
Yeah.
we'll see you next week." And then they hit you up a week later. "Hey man, where's the traffic?"
Where's the traffic,
So
bro?
hopefully things are different over there. And you guys, well, I already know it is different because you guys do actually provide spreadsheets. You give information about the best states, all of that kind of stuff. So
We've even built data studios for affiliates now. Media buyers, they can go and they can get the data on a granular level. So we show like what your average EPL is. We show what your average EPC is. We show what states overall are doing better for everybody. There's just really a lot of technology out there that you have when you actually own and operate offers. Whereas, like you said, dude, those guys are in there for a commission. They're there making their paycheck. They got bills to pay. So it's their job. Like let's be fair, it's their job to tell you that everything's going to be hunky dory. But dude, that's just not how the world works. Like we're living in 2024. I'm sure everybody saw the political debate that happened. It's a crazy time, man. You gotta really be careful with where you spend your money, who you work with, because you don't even know if you're going to get paid at the end of the day with all these companies that are going bankrupt. So
yes,
yeah, I
exactly.
I have a lot of respect for anybody buying media because you really have to be an entrepreneur with the spirit to do it. You know what I mean? Because it's a rough world we're living in. It's a lot easier to take a 9 to 5 and just make your paycheck like everybody else.
Yeah. What's one thing you wish more affiliates knew about lead generation?
That is a good question, Joey. I guess one of the things that I wish people knew more about was the effort that it took to actually make the offer, do the connections in the biz dev, to monitor the quality, to make sure that they're getting paid, to make sure they're getting paid the most. I wish that people who were running offers to lead generation understood how everybody's got to make their cut. Like it's not just about a quick cash grab and sending out, crappy ads that aren't going to back out for the buyers at the end of the day. I wish people knew that if everybody's happy, everybody can eat. Like I said, it's a huge industry. If you're working with the right clients, you're gonna make money if you're a decent human being, right? There are a lot of things that I wish people knew, but
Yeah.
it's a complicated topic, man. You can't we've talked about this in the past. You can't just go and create an offer and expect to have success. We've been working in the solar space alone for going on 6 years now. And before that, we ran traffic to people's offers and they just didn't convert, and these were huge companies. And, there's just a lot of work that goes into it from building. People think you just build a web page and that's how it goes, but you have to do, the front end, the middle, and the back end. There's three
Yeah.
different parts. There's optimization, there's keeping everything up. We've had server issues that we've had to pay media buyers for downtime. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
just wish people knew the inner workings, but then if everybody knew it, then everybody'd be doing it, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's a two-edged sword.
I guess the moral of the story is the better quality, the more money you make, and everybody's happy because ultimately there's a spot for everybody here. There's a need for everybody. There's a need for the traffic. There's a need for you guys who are building these funnels and optimizing the web speed of all these lead forms. But at the same time, all those leads are going to some type of tree in the back end where people are buying those leads. And if they keep buying crap leads, then the whole thing fails. So
Exactly.
traffic is key here. So what do you think is the best when people come to you who want to start this, let's say, we're not talking about the ultra experienced media buyers, $1 million media buyers, whatever you want to call them. We're
We
talking about
could
the guys
be.
that are,
We could be. If they
yeah.
want to come to us, go ahead.
But I mean,
Just
at the
come on
same
out.
time, they already know where their traffic's coming in. But a lot of people are watching and saying, "I'd like to get into lead gen with this home services." Where do you find the most success?
I think a lot of our affiliates find the most success just with like Facebook and Instagram, over other sources like Native, or even Google. I mean, Google is consistent, YouTube is consistent, but they just cost more. There's a bigger barrier of entry. If you have $5,000 to $10,000 that you're willing to test with, you can usually find results on Facebook if you have a strategy. Like I'm sure you're aware of like the 3 to 5 strategy, 3 to 5 campaigns, 3 to 5 ad sets, and then targeting. You don't change it a lot. and you just split test. It's not really complicated. It's just I don't think a lot of people have the fortitude to do it. They expect
Yeah.
to spend $20 on an ad and get all the data they want, but there's so many more things that go into it, like training the algorithm, optimizing your audiences, making sure that the ads are being served to the right people. Are your ads actually written in a format that's going to help people? Or are they just, hey, come get solar panel quote, we help you today? Or are they fleshed out? Are they well thought out? Are they gonna, make people want to click on your ad? Because at the end of the day, you're paying per view. Cost per mil, that's a fun advertising term that we all know very well these days.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it all comes back down to that.
Yeah.
Just having a little bit of fortitude, starting with something that you see and you can gather information on and pull in data from, like, the Facebook advertising platform. You can thank the government for one thing, and that's that Facebook has to show all the ads now. So you can just go search pretty much whatever you want, see what people are running in the wild, and modify it to fit your needs.
Yeah. And I guess at the same time, a lot of people where they fail with this industry in particular, when it comes to home services, is that it's really state specific. So, but if you try and target specific states, your CPM goes up dramatically.
Hmm.
So there has to be some type of testing strategy that involves a broader sense, we'll say, where all the states are involved, and then trying to figure out which states are doing best. But if you start to target those, it's going to cost you more. So
Right,
what do you
right.
tell people about that? Do you say start broad or
It really, I would say a lot of that strategy depends on how well you've worked your pixel uh with Facebook, right? And you're well aware of that. This is one of those Facebook marketing secrets that a lot of people think they can just jump in and work, and it doesn't, because you got to teach that pixel. But if you can teach that pixel by starting really broad, like you said, like nationwide even, with a company that has a good campaign that has the coverage nationwide, you don't want to go in with a mom and pop shop, tell them you can generate leads in, I don't know, one state in New Brunswick, and expect results. Like, it just doesn't happen that you have these small little pockets of areas. But if you can get 10 to 15 states, you can get 20 states, you can get, a large schedule of zips, like 10 to 15, 20,000 zips, which would be about half of the United States to people who are counting out there. It helps a lot. Like you said, the smaller your audience, the more your costs are going to be. So you have to be really, really careful with your budgets there. Um, but yeah, it's all about breaking down the data at the end of the day. And if you don't have a complete data set, you're just wasting your money, you know?
yeah. So a few more questions because like I said, I didn't want to keep this like a really super long podcast, but are there any tools that, affiliates are using that help them with their ROI, especially in lead gen, while at the same time, keeping lead quality and stuff like that?
That is a good question, right? So a lot of people use external tracking systems, like Red Track, right? So you'll manage everything on Facebook, but you'll have it on Red Track. It gives you a more optimized platform, more granular data. You can go through and use it. I've used it myself. It is a little bit more expensive than some of these other platforms out there, but if you have those kinds of services, you really see more data. Another tool, another trick of the trade, that I don't think a lot of people have probably heard about, is the 3-second rule on Facebook. So if you don't get people to stop on your ad, um, within 3 seconds, your costs are going to go up. So there's a lot of custom tools. Now, if anybody wants to reach out to me about this, I can help them optimize their Facebook dashboard to even add these tools in, right? So you have to add some code, but it's called Thumb Stop, right? So that's the tool. It's really, really good metric to lower your cost, right? So they're not necessarily platforms, they're not necessarily like goalposts, but like if you have Red Track, you have Thumb Stop on your dashboard, you can see where all of your costs are going, right, in a more granular way. One of the things that's really been eye-opening to us is when we actually started, internal media buying with Astrafuse, right? So I'm learning all these tricks as I go. It really adds a lot of value to people that work with us, because I have experience doing it now. We have success. We have teams that are highly successful, and it just works, right? And it's because of people like you that have helped me. It's because of other friends in the space. I've been doing this for a really long time, so it all works together. to make it happen. But you got to know the tricks. It does go back to
Yeah.
that.
So specifically in terms of offers, can you give some creative examples like ads that work and what offers, just so that people get a general idea of what you're seeing?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, you know, it's 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 a multifaceted question, right? Because the ads you see might not always be compliant, right? So if you see an ad, you think it's going to work, usually the ad that you think is going to work doesn't necessarily work. Um, so the best strategy for ad quality and ad creatives is just to make a bunch and just test them, see what's out there in space and test them. General ad strategy, like what generally works, it's a little different for each home service project, right? So people who want solar, they want to save money. People who have windows, it's probably drafty windows. People with roofs, most people don't even think about their roof until there's a leak, right? Water filtration. The water quality in America is garbage, so naturally people are more worried about it. And home security is kind of a no-brainer, right? People worry about their family and their belongings and so forth. But understanding, I guess, to kind of answer your question more directly, understanding those specific things about every vertical and even understanding where you're targeting in the United States is more important than the ad itself. You could make a million ads, but just because you made a million ads doesn't mean you understand who you're advertising to.
Yeah, that's a big thing that I talk about on this channel in some of the training as well at Powerhouse Affiliate that the customer avatar, what is their problem? What is it that you're trying to solve? And just for solar, for example, if you take that to an AI tool like Claude or ChatGPT 4 and you say like write me a journal of somebody that all the reasons why they might want solar panels and it'll give you all these different angles for people. Most of the time it's like saving money, um the evil power companies, all of this kind of
That is,
rhetoric that we have around that one niche.
and that is great advice. And I'll tell you why, because advertising follows three traditional methodologies, right? So you have your pain, agitate, solve method. That would be, oh, power companies suck, or your electric bill's too high. Oh, power companies really suck. So get away from them by going solar, right? So that's one
Yeah.
strategy. And then you have your hook, educate, sell model, right? So you got to build that hook. You got to do that thing. That's where you see the ones where they're like squeegees or things that aren't even necessarily remotely related to the product. Then they'll tell you about it and then they'll say, get a quote today, right? And then you have the third model, and that is the attention, interest, desire, action. And so you would show something flashy. We'll stay with the home improvement model, but you usually see this a lot more with like e-com products. But you'd show them like a real big fancy setup. Maybe you'd show them like a utility bill that's zero. And then now they're interested and they desire that. Maybe show them a nice house, maybe show them a nice car, maybe show them blah, 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 all the money. MoneyStacks, right? MoneyStacks, yeah. And then you drive them to action, right? So you
Nice.
don't have to
Yeah.
reinvent the wheel. You don't have to
Yeah.
to find the perfect ad that's out there. A lot of times you just have to think like a customer and put yourself in their shoes. And I don't think the one of the biggest issues, and I know that you're trying to keep this short, so I'll close it up here. One of the biggest issues I think in today's advertising is it's too copy paste. There's really not a lot of thinking going on. People are just stealing ads and putting them up. Um, you don't have to reinvent the wheel either, but there's got to be a fine line in there somewhere. I guess the shame is that there's just a lot of bad actors in the space that aren't doing it the right way.
Yeah. That's right. So I've got three more questions, but before I do that, I would like to remind the people watching to please like this video, comment, and share. Help us in the algorithm so that we can get this out there. But in terms of what you're seeing again on the inside, Jerry, what is a quick win for an affiliate? We like quick wins. We want a reason to go in there and start running this. So what is something that you can give us?
I can give you money. That's a quick
Money.
win.
That's a quick win.
No,
Yes.
I honestly, compared to, I have a ton of friends who run offers in very similar spaces. When you work in the space for a while, you get to know a lot of people. I would say one of the biggest, quickest wins with us is that we have a lot of bells and whistles that other people just can't provide, right? So we have custom URLs for everybody. We have a lot of juicy lead opportunities in the offers hidden there somewhere, and just a lot of you know tools and tricks of the trade that we can provide that other people can't. That you might make a couple million with us, but you might even take that knowledge and make millions elsewhere too. But you never know that knowledge if you don't come work with us in the first place. So I think that's a huge quick win for
Yeah. And
affiliates.
let me just touch on one thing you just said, which is custom URL. For some people that are watching, they might not understand the benefit of that. But think about it this way. Let's say we set up a TikTok video for an ad, and I'm just like, man, I just saved $3,000 on my power bill for the last year. This is great. Maybe this isn't compliant, but whatever. And anyway, check out the link down in the description or whatever, or swipe to go. And then it goes directly to the offer. No redirects whatsoever, meaning it's
Exactly.
direct traffic. TikTok doesn't ban your account for all these shady global redirects and affiliate links. At the same time, you have a custom domain that no one else is running. So it looks like you're actually the owner of this offer, giving you more advantage through the platform. So custom URLs is a big deal, especially even on Google and Facebook. The same methodology applies, where you can direct link now without having to worry about these circumventing bans.
And to kind of, add to that, a lot of brands won't let you use their name on your advertising accounts. But the beauty of having a custom URL is, say, Joey's, our offer is Bright Solar Pros, right? So, if you had Joey's Bright Solar Pros, you could name your account, or let's like Powerhouse Solar Pros, right? So you could name your account that you're advertising to Powerhouse Solar Pros and advertise to that account. So it adds
Yeah.
even another layer of cohesion for these people that are coming to the site because they're interested in your ads. Whereas if there's that jarring twist, you don't have the same brand name, your helpful helpful money tips account
Yeah.
to solar, and then it redirects to some solar offer, you're just not going to have cohesion and people are going to be confused.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So what is the biggest myth you want to bust today about lead gen, especially in the affiliate realm?
I honestly, this one's kind of multifaceted, and it goes back to what you say of like not all offers are created equal. The biggest myth that I would like to bust is like not all leads are equal, and this goes kind of back into our lead buyers. Not all leads are equal. Not all companies you work with are equal. So like if you're thinking that you're going to just start on an offer and have success and you're just going to follow, and no shade on people who provide tutorials and whatnot, but if you think you're going to do that, it's a perfect storm, right? There's things that have to work for those tutorials to hit right. Like if everybody was successful doing it, we'd all be millionaires, right? We'd have all put into Bitcoin when it was, you know, a tenth of a penny, right? Because you just don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? So like unfortunately that's the way the world works. But the biggest myth that I'd like to bust is that you can just start anywhere and do anything. You have to have a strategy, you have to have a goal in mind, and you have to work with the right people. That's where it all starts.
Yeah.
So, just getting in with the right people. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and those people can teach you.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, good stuff, man. What is your favorite lead gen success story? And the floor is yours.
Man, I've worked with a lot of clients since I started in the space. So I actually have a lot of success stories. Just people who are like, hey, I'd like to start, and they're making 1,000, 2,000 extra dollars a week. Like those are success stories to me because, they started with nothing and they're going, forward with it. I do have guys that I work with that drive thousands of leads a week. Those are big money guys, but they're a little more rare than other people. But at the end of the day, my favorite success stories are like my buddy, his name's Joey too, but he goes by Joseph. He's worked with us for a long time since I very first started. He just came back to us the other day. He's like, "Hey man, you guys have your custom offers. I know we used to do a lot of work in the background space on my type of traffic model." He's like, "I want to come back and work with you because it only works with direct advertisers." We're like, "Yeah, buddy, let's do it. Let's get this
Yeah.
going. Let's crank it out." Um, and just having that camaraderie, that rapport, that he knows that we run good business, and we've made him a lot of money, and he's been able to feed his family. Poor guy has 4 kids. You know how that feels, Joey.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, man.
it's just it's good to be able to put food on his table. He recently had a son, and it's just heartwarming for me that I actually work in a space where I can talk to people and work with them and help them grow, and just it's awesome feeling.
That's awesome. Yeah. Cool, man. That's great. Thanks. I think you've answered all my questions, but hey, if you've got some more goods, we're here.
Hey,
We're here
dude.
anytime.
Yeah, I love having these conversations with you, Joey. I know we shoot the shit a lot, like we have a lot of fun conversations, and
Yeah.
our own amount of blooper reels. But I appreciate you as a person. You've always been a good friend of mine.
Awesome.
Hopefully we get to hang out at some of these shows coming up, man. I know you were in New York for Affiliate East. Said you had a
Yep.
good time for that, albeit it was in New York, which this is kind of an OG story going back, and I might date myself a little while, but. My first affiliate show was back in like I want to say like 2016, 2015. And back then New York just smelled like garbage, right?
Yeah.
And maybe like urination. And I saw a piece of pizza floating down the gutter with like a rat on it, and I was like, this is the most New York thing I think I've ever seen in my life. I
Yeah.
will say, going back over the last few years, it is nice that it smells more like marijuana smoke in New York than it does trash and
Hey,
urination. I will
that's
say,
that's very true. I brought my kids
major
this
upgrade.
time too. First time they've been to New York, so
Yeah.
it was quite an experience, especially coming from a small town up in northern Canada. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's a
eastern
different.
Canada, I say, but what's
Yeah.
that?
I would say it's a different experience, man, because I don't know if a lot of people know this about me. I know you do, but we live in Kansas, man. So it's not like we're used to that sort of thing. And I live in the biggest town in Kansas. And it's kind of crazy when you go to these other places, kind of the culture shock. But I will say it's made everybody a lot more chill. They sell a lot more food these days. It's really ironic how that happens. They legalize the grass and everybody's happy. So so
Yeah,
it's just funny to me. It's funny to me. But yeah.
right
It's
on.
interesting to watch those stories, see those times, and I hope that we get to hang out in the future. We're going to Affiliate Summit West for sure. We go to some of
Okay.
these home shows around the country. So I look forward to seeing you later on, man.
Yeah, we'll see you at the affiliate summits for sure. All right, that's awesome. So, last thing, anyone that wants to join Astrafuse, I'm going to leave the link down in the description. You can join there, sign up. You'll probably be talking to Jerry, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
You can get access to these offers. You can get access to their data. You can get access to
memes
MoneyStacks,
and
apparently. Lots of memes
and
and money.
gifts. Yeah,
Excellent. Okay.
and Glengarry gifts and memes too.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. All
always
right.
be selling, always.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for tuning in today and appreciate your time.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right.